Greetings! I'm Rodger Newbold, the host for the Experience Photography's video podcast episode presentation number 69. Now, I want to welcome you to Studio One North. Now, my great friend, my partner and splendid photographer in his own right, is the editor for today's episode, and that is absolutely Mr. Matt Rich. How are you managing to do today, sir?
Doing great, Roger. Just thought I'd pop in and get this video done.
I want to start off today with a quote here by Henry David Thoreau. The cost of a thing is the amount of life it requires to be exchanged for it, immediately or in the long run. That has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about today. Now, I've found myself willing to spend the time and the effort to put out this information, which I believe is going to be of great value. My job and its attendant research is taking longer to complete than I ever intended. Procuring an older style, meaning a full mechanical, non-electric powered camera, was more difficult than I expected. They are available. They're just not plentiful. Thus, when not abundant, you may add the secondary words, they become more costly. Now, my income is no longer affords acquiring cameras willy-nilly and as desired. Also, I have found that film, whether it be black and white or color, the costs have increased along with its attendant processing. Finally, I wearily have found that outstanding film processing and or scanning is time-consuming as well. Now, depending on the processing lab that you choose, the turnaround time can be from, a few days to 3 weeks. Oh, man! And that's not counting drive time to and fro and all of the necessary paperwork, yada yada. Now, I'm not fast, but I sure am sluggish. Personally, I choose to call it methodical or scientific. Outwardly, time is no longer on my side. Everything in life seems to be in a halting, delayed, or slow motion. I just can't work any longer morning, noon, and night as I did in younger days. However, many others that I deal with simply appear to not want to apply themselves at all. We need to get things done. Criminy, daylight's burning. We need more gusto. Where's John Wayne when you need him? Johnny boy. Come on, buck up, partners. Let's get going. In the course of my learning, I became moved by the photographs of the late Jerry Uelsman. I'm certainly you know the images if you don't recognize the name. Here's a picture of Mr. Uelsman. I knew you'd recognize his pictures. They're too unique not to have seen them previously. Jerry stated about his work that he gradually confused photography with life. It became his life. It can become your life. And I know many who do, in fact, wear that motto. His goal was not to resolve life's mysteries, but to deepen them. Owning a camera basically gave him license, free rein to go explore. I believe it was from his book Processes and Perceptions that he outlined the bulk of his time was spent collecting assets. The pictures of hands in various postures, skies, sorts of every sort, and trees and people, not specifically as final images in themselves, but slices of things to be combined for the complete narrative. He worked in the darkroom with up to 8 enlargers, and they were all set to beam their individual sliver into life. Later, he mentioned that working in Photoshop was no less time-consuming. The important thing to garner from his example is the importance of understanding your desires, the tools, and the materials. May I add further the need to fully understand yourself as well as your tools. Quoting from the book Atomic Habits, this is by James Clear. In an interesting experiment, Professor Yulesman divided his photo class into 2 groups. Students seated on the left, they were placed in a quantity group, while the students on the right half of the classroom were placed in the quality group. Students in the quantity group were to be graded solely on the number of photographs submitted. Anyone submitting 100 photos, hey, they get an A, 90 a B, so on and so forth. On the other hand, the students in the quality group were to be graded only on their work of excellence. Every student had to produce 1 photograph during the semester, but to get an A, the student had to turn in a nearly perfect image. This experiment produced a remarkable outcome. Counterintuitively, the best photographs came from the students in the quantity group, while the quality students could muster just a few mediocre photographs. How can this be? During the semester, the quantity students were busy taking photographs. They were experimenting with lighting and composition, testing out every different method in the darkroom. They learned from their mistakes. If it didn't work today, try it tomorrow. Try it with different light. Try it until you get it right. Experiment. By taking multiple photographs, the quantity group students honed their overall photographic skills to deliver some really great photographs. In contrast, the poor students of the quantity group were paralyzed. They sat and speculated about perfection and their quest for that perfect photograph. These students spent most of their time researching, strategizing, planning. They forgot to experiment. And may I just sneak in the word, they forgot to learn. Learn by trying and doing more. At the end of the semester, they delivered their substandard work. Now, being in motion really requires taking action. James Clear, the author of this article, calls this obsessive planning, strategizing, and learning as being in motion. It's good to have some planning and strategizing, but they don't produce any result or outcome in themselves. It is actually doing that delivers results. So, put in the work first. I have a simple mental process developed for any personal development ritual that I wish to build. Initially, don't waste any time whatsoever planning. Reading, figure out, being in motion lulls you into a feeling like you're getting things done when you're just preparing to do something. The process of planning and strategizing is an insidious form of procrastination, and it's makes you avoid doing real work. When embarking on new habits, new rituals, you should focus on doing. It does not matter how much. What matters more is frequency. 10 minutes a day without fail is more valuable than planning for an hour every day and then missing it 3 times a week. Over the last few years, I've discovered it's possible to go out after anything you wish to do. The secret is getting in the reps. Consistently eats intensity for lunch any day. If you want to write, learn music, pick up photography, become more organized, become calmer, learn to meditate, learn coding, digital marketing, or anything, you have to want to do it for a long time. You don't hold back. You take action. You don't deserve the regret of not realizing those desires. All you require is a simple resolve to take the first step and follow it up with the next step, and then the next step, and keep on going. That journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Much thanks to Mr. James Clear for his article about Yulesman and about getting going with your work. So what's the point in today's episode? Number 1, as pointed out, you must know your materials. Now, we started that last episode, and we're going to continue for a bit about understanding what's going on with your materials. You have to know and understand what they're capable of and how to use them. Number 2, you must develop, unintended, the habit of daily practice. Frequency trumps everything. Get out and do it. You also should have learned today that collecting assets is valuable and not a waste of time. Don't think of it as just happy snappy. Think of it as I'm collecting this bit or this information or this skill, and I am not wasting time. I am learning. Now, not everyone wants to perform all of the informative material tests on their own. Of course, most don't know what to test for or how to test for them. And I'm happy to do so. The teacher's job is not simply filling the pail, but lighting and igniting the fire. So please be a little patient as the pail fills. The results will be a big benefit to you as we continue on. So just keep calm, carry on, keep shooting. Ansel Adams said, "You don't make photographs with a camera. You bring to the act of photography all of the pictures you've ever seen, the books that you've read, the music you have heard, and the people you have loved." So cherish literally every moment. Life has no rewind. Our friends, we encourage you to join with us. Subscribe. Ring the little bell. most of all, give us that big giant thumbs up. Well, our time has elapsed for today, and we've tried offering suggestions that will help you manage your choices wisely. We anticipate that if you place yourself in that passionate, creative mode, you will capture great images all the time. If you seek the impossible, you will never be disappointed. Now, Matt and I salute you. We thank you for watching and helping to build time in our channel and getting information from it. So today, I offer a tip of my hat to you, and cheerio until next time we see you on screen.